Last week we had Ed Miliband, and tonight is the leader of the Liberal Democrats, Nick Clegg. Welcome, Nick. How are you?
It's good to be here. Yeah, very good.
Excellent. Thank you. What are your job policies and why should they trust you?
So, I mean, a lot of it's very complicated, but one thing is very simple, is that you can't create jobs unless you've got a strong economy. It's kind of like, it's simple as that.
I have lots of friends who have found work, but are struggling with zero-hour contracts, unpaid internships or minimum wage. Is there anything we can actually do to change that?
Yes, I think there is. I mean, zero-hour contracts, for instance, I think we just got to end, and we are ending the absurd situation, which is deeply exploitative, where if you're signed up to a 0 hours contract, not only do you have all the uncertainties of that, but you're then not, the contract specifies you're not allowed to work for anybody else either.
How will you tackle unequal pay and gender discrimination in the workplace?
Well, I mean, first the good news and then the bad news. The good news is that the gender pay gap for people roughly under the age of 40 has now more or less disappeared in this country, it wasn't the case for a long time. So that's a really good thing. Education
was your second topic. It's a bit of a brave choice, right?
No, it's what I'm passionate about.
OK, so in 60 seconds...
Yeah.
Keep it. Why can't you promise tonight to scrap the £9,000 tuition fee system and, if you're part of another coalition government in May, fight to keep that promise?
So I think I've learnt my lesson that I shouldn't make promises on that whole issue of how we fund universities without being really sure that it's right in the first place, and secondly, it can be kept. A good thing. How do you get people more involved in governance? I think my experience is the best way to get people involved is to get people interested and involved locally in their own community. And actually, what's happening in these recent reforms, controversial though some of them is that actually the way in which the NHS is being governed is being radically decentralised. So you've got these new things called these clinical commissioning groups, so decisions are taken by doctors and clinicians locally about what is needed for local areas. So I think local is the route to get involved in the governance of your own local NHS. Just sort of turning our backs on the world, like Nigel Farage and large parts of the Conservative Party, it's not only mean-spirited, it's also self-defeating. You know, one in seven companies and businesses in this country was started by people who came in as kind of migrant entrepreneurs. Our NHS would collapse overnight if we didn't have nurses and doctors from elsewhere. But, so we've got to be open and fair where we need to be open and fair, and in keeping with our sort of generous-spirited traditions. But also we've got to give people like Harry confidence that the system works.